You did talk about the mental side of coaching and playing. It's two completely different things, in my opinion. Like what it takes to play professional tennis or professional pickleball versus what it takes to coach. Yeah, it's very different. The reason I bring it up is, as you said, like any sport, the mentality is different, but I do think racket sports have a different set of mentality when it comes to, being a team sport versus an individual sport. Again, you've been through it as a professional tennis player where up until very recently, like coaching wasn't allowed during games. Like you couldn't look at your coach, give signals or whatever. You couldn't talk between points. So like that was really frowned upon. So you really were on an island for those like 2, 3, 4 hours that you were on court. You were by yourself in your own head, just one-on-one against another human being, very similar to like boxing or MMA or stuff like that, where you're going one-on-one against a person. But at least there you have breaks every 5 minutes. You get to go talk to your coaches. You're out there on an island for 3 to 5 hours just by yourself. What did that teach you in terms of, yourself and like how you look at a sport, how you look at the game? And then how did that mentality translate into coaching and pickleball?
There's a lot of arguments going on in those 2-3 hours. You ask yourself a question and you answer, and then you have an argument. Now, it's way easier to see it from the outside if you're watching any sports, right? So you're sitting in the stands and you're like, how does she not see that, right? But on the court, you feel like you're in a tunnel. Like it's just very narrow, and just a lot of times you don't see a solution where if someone just pointed at something out, it would be like, oh, wow, but it's not. So it does teach you to see a bigger picture. Don't, be in the past or in the future, but be right now and solve the problem. And I feel like the best athletes have the ability of problem solve, because a lot of people have problem for every solution. Where you want to be successful, it has to be the other way around. And that's the biggest part with, whoever makes it and who doesn't, because it is. And tennis, it's probably one of the hardest sports out there just because of that. You have zero help from the outside. While you're on the court, it's you. And it's very easy to go, dark places and be caught up in the mistakes or, fear of failure or fear of success. It's the same from different sides, but just being present and being able to execute and focus on that, it's huge. And just, for myself, I feel like having that career and I feel like I was successful for the short period of time when I was actually a pro. I feel like I don't have that backpack when I go and play pickleball. I don't have anything to prove. I just purely enjoy the game, and, being a bit older, being grateful that I can compete again and be out there. And it's just different perspective, and I just love it. And it's, there's no pressure. I've done that, and and it's been fun and all that, but I have that experience. And right now it's just, every time I step on the court, it's like the biggest smile. And I miss the speed up, and I'm like, oh, let's do it again. So it's different, having that career and then having like a second career or whatever I want to call it. But just that mindset of being out there and really enjoy it to the fullest.
But do you think, like, if let's say you played, you never played, okay, let's say you have your life over and you start playing pickleball as a pro when you were young. Do you think the mental challenges of tennis is more than pickleball?
100%.
Yeah.
This is like La La Land a little bit. Like it's so different. Everyone, like if you think it's hard and it's harsh and it's, like you play, I don't know, 20, 30 tournaments a year. They're over the weekend. When you look at just tennis, it's like you travel the whole world. Like I didn't know what continent I woke up in the morning, and
a lot of jet lag.
Yes. And it's just, this is to me, it's easy. So it's easy for me to enjoy it. I do see, 20-year-olds out there struggle with that. It's, just a constant, like, book a ticket, book a hotel. all this. To me, it's like, okay, whatever. And it's in the US. It's, what is it? Like for us, Florida to West Coast is 5 hours flight, max. So it's the biggest struggle that I have. It's now, the schedule wise, because I still teach, and then I don't want to miss that part, and I don't want to leave my players just, hanging. And then I want to go and be at the tournament, and I want to be prepared, and I don't want to be completely dead when I step on the court, because I just stepped off the tennis court teaching 10 hours, and now I'm, playing pickleball tournament. So that's like my struggle that I have, having maybe 2 jobs or whatever you want to call it. But the rest is just super fun.
Do you think that, well, in your experience with I mean, they're throwing out numbers of like what, 36, 37, 34 million people?
Definitely inflated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think, can you see that tennis is getting affected by pickleball tennis numbers?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think tennis is still, popular, and it's still out in the world. We're talking pickleball, that it's US based, and yes, I agree, it's easier to pick up and it's easier on your body. So as a recreational sport, it's way easier to start and be active, which is great. But to master it, it's like any other thing, any other sport. Like you have to put in time, you have to put in your mind, and it takes a lot of practice.